Budgeting is an important exercise for every business, and knowing how to do it in Netsuite is even more important. In this video, I'll explain how to create a budget in Netsuite using the UI, and this will be followed up by a video on how to import a budget. So in Netsuite, how to get to the actual budget screen. You will go to Transactions, Financial, and then Set Up Budget, and you will then see the following screen. On this screen, you will notice all your budget parameters or filters, and then at the bottom is what your allocation will be for that account for those parameters you will set at the top. So if you look at the top, it starts off with the company or the subsidiary that you're budgeting for, your financial year that you're also budgeting for, and then your category. This is quite important because you'll see if you start off with budgeting in Netsuite, you will always have this legacy category. What you can do is actually create additional categories. And what I usually advise clients to do for this is use the category as a revision for your budget. So for example, you might have a budget for 2025, maybe the first quarter, and then you might update your budget and revise it in the second quarter. So it can be like, for example, 2025 Q1, 2025 Q2, and you can click on this plus icon to add additional categories. It's a good way to use that category. Otherwise, it will always be legacy, and you'll only have one budget category. Then you will also see that you can budget by customer, and that's, for example, a sales that you may be predicting for a particular customer that you can track against. You can then also budget by a specific item if it's needed, class, if you have specific classes attached to your item, and then a specific location. And then you can also see that you can filter out your accounts here at the bottom by the account types. So I'm just going to leave mine as income and expenses. Okay. Now, for example, let's say you want to budget, for example, for a specific location. No, let's not select a location. Maybe let's select an item. If I select my item, you can see there was 1,000 at the first one, and it actually disappeared because that means you have different filters or different parameter that you're actually now budgeting for. If I remove that, the budget is global, so there's no actual filter here at the top. Now, let's say I want to put in a budget, for example, for, let's say I got salary and wages. I can go over here, and let's say I have a total budget of $1 million for this year. So I'll put in 1 million, and then I want to distribute it across each period. You can then click on distribute to basically take that amount, and it will then break it up for you and then distribute it across all the periods in Netsuite. Let's say it's $1 million for each month. You then take out that and you put 1 million in there, and then you can go up to the top again, and you then can click on full. And if I click on full, you'll notice that it actually puts in $1 million for each one. So that's just Netsuite's way of actually making sure that it's easier for you to actually fill in your budgets. And that's basically what you will do for each one of these accounts when you populate your budget. And it is as easy as that. Once your budget is actually saved, so let's say I go save my budget, you can now go and actually view your budgets. So you can now view your budget, so you can see the screen will come up. And that shows you what budget you have already done so far and for each account. But let's say you actually want to track your budget. The easiest way to track your spending against your budget is just to type in at the top budget versus actual. Budget versus actual. And if I do that, it will show me my reporting. So the reporting link to it will be reports, banking / budgeting, and then it will be budget versus actual. And if I open that up, how a budget versus actual report actually looks like. So here you can see your budgeted amount, the amount over budget, percentage of budget, and this is quite important if you want to track your budgeting. In my next video, I will show you how you can set up these budgets in Excel and then import them into Netsuite. Thank you.